Hi guys, I'm Boaz from BOAZ International School. Today I want to shed some light to parents who have an interest in the I.G.C.S.E. I.G.C.S.E simply means International General Certificate of Secondary Education. So under the I.G.C.S.E are the students who are doing the A-levels. And today I would like to shed some light those who have done their KCSE and would have an interest in doing the A-levels, the requirements that is expected, and all the needs. Now, before I go to the transitioning of the KCSE to the A-levels, I would first of all explain what we mean by the term I.G.C.S.E. It is an international general certificate that is being done by students who are doing the Cambridge curriculum. So those students that are doing the Cambridge curriculum are the one who do the I.G.C.S.E. So mostly, this is what we normally do. We equate the I.G.C.S.E to the KCSE. KCSE. Those people are doing KCSE in the Form 4. Now, these are some of the requirements that you are expected to do. The age limit for people who are doing the I.G.C.S.E, it ranges between 14 to 16. Okay? So it doesn't have as much requirement as people are sitting the KCSE. It does not matter as long as you are in the age bracket of 14 to 16 or 16 and above, you can be able to register for the International General Certificate of Secondary Education. And remember, it is a 2-year program. It covers the year 10 and year 11, which means the syllabus that is covered is shared. Part of it is done in year 10, and the other part is supposed to be done in the year 11. Our exam series normally happens in May, June. So we normally have the May, June, and we also have the October, November exams. So if you don't feel like sitting your exams in May, June, you can study and register for the October, November. The exam system is very much flexible in a way that it is also globally recognized. Okay? Now, how do we normally do our grading in the I.G.C.S.E and also in the A-levels? I will take you through how we do the grading in that system. The first thing that you need to know, for people who have done the I.G.C.S.E, we normally consider that you have not completed your high school academics. So you are supposed to move where? You are supposed to move and do your A-levels, okay? And you are supposed to register at least 6 principal passes in the I.G.C.S.E in order to register and do your A-levels. The minimum number of subjects that you are required to do in I.G.C.S.E, you can do 6 subjects. But when you go to the A-levels, remember there is the year 12, then you move to the year 13. So the year 12 is called the AS, that is Advanced Subsidiary. And you are supposed to do at least 4 subjects. You can do a minimum of 4. Then when you are going to the year 13, you can drop 1 and do 3 subjects in the year 13. But some of the students can also opt and continue with your 4 subjects all the way to the year 13. So year 13 is what we normally refer to as what? The A-levels. Whereas year 12 is called the Advanced Subsidiary. Now, what about those people who have done their KCSE and they would have an interest in joining the Cambridge curriculum? Once you've done your KCSE, you don't need to go and do the I.G.C.S.E. No. You can go directly and register for the year 12 and the year 13, which is the A-levels. A good example, I know in KCSE you do around 8 or 7 subjects. So out of all the subjects you've done, if you have an interest in doing an engineering course or pharmacy or medicine, you may decide and do your mathematics, you do in your KCSE, you do the biology and maybe the chemistry. Or you can do mathematics, biology, chemistry, and physics. If you are science oriented, from what you had already done in the KCSE. And this program will also take you 2 years. But some people can still do it within year 12. The year 12 and 13 you can do within 1 year and sit all the exams based on how much you are well prepared and how much you are ready to do your studies. The advantage of doing the A-levels after doing the KCSE is because your certificate will be recognized globally. You will have a global recognition, and you can get into any of the Ivy League universities elsewhere and even here in the country. Out of the research, because some of the parents were asking that, how do we equate those grades in the KCSE and those grading in the A-level system? Now, this is what normally happens. Now, if somebody has done a KCSE, because the minimum requirement for someone after the KCSE to join the university is a C+. And remember, the A-levels is a little bit advanced than what you do in the KCSE. So our grading system for the A-levels is always a grade higher. For example, if you get this our grading system in the A-level, there is a grade A, there is a grade B, there is C, there's grade D, and grade E, the lowest. Now, somebody who has gotten a grade of C, okay, in the A-levels is equated to somebody with a C+ or a B- in the KCSE. Somebody who has gotten a B in the A-levels can be equated to somebody who has gotten what? An A in the KCSE. That's how the Cambridge system in the A-levels is a grade higher. Because somebody may ask, what if I had a grade D in the I.G.C.S.E, the A-levels? How do we equate that one to the KCSE? So your D in the A-levels is equated to a grade ahead in the KCSE. For example, from a D is equated to be a C. Okay? And remember, for you to do the A-levels, you must get 6 principal passes, which is a grade C, out of the 6 subjects in what? In your I.G.C.S.E. And that is one of the most important things that most parents would like to know. The other advantage that I can talk about while addressing you on this system, you see how flexible it is. In what sense? Now, when you are doing the I.G.C.S.E or the A-levels, no one require you from anywhere. Like in the Kenyan system, the KCSE, you must have done a KCPE. For example, some of the adults, some of the people that they did not get the opportunity of doing the KCSE, and now I know the Kenyan system is transitioning to be CBC. You shouldn't be worried. As long as you register for the exams and you get trained, you join a school where they are teaching the Cambridge system, you can comfortably do your exams, then get to the college or the university and do the courses that you want to study. Now, there's some of the things that I also want to talk about. Somebody may ask, now, what are the qualifications that universities across require for students who have done the A-levels, especially those who want to do medicine, maybe you want to do engineering, pharmacy, or some of those professional courses, okay? You must get at least 3 Bs. 3 Bs in the 3 subjects you've done in the A-levels in order to join and do either medicine, engineering, or anything related to those courses that are very lucrative at the universities. So that's a very important aspect. But I would also encourage most of the students that have done the Kenyan system, it is quite easy for you to transition from the KCSE, irrespective of the grade that you got in your KCSE. You can always come and study hard and still realize good grades in your A-levels and in your year 12, which is the advanced subsidiary. And out of the research and many universities that normally opt, most of the students that does the Cambridge system, some of the few universities locally, like Strathmore, we find them in very few that go to the University of Nairobi, especially ones to do medicine. But we have USIU that also is recognized. Most of the students also go there. And even Daystar, if you are to ask what are some of the local universities, because I understand some of the parents that we have may not want their children to travel abroad after the A-level for their university degree, because they may think their daughters and sons are still young. So most of the universities that most parents normally opt for Daystar, some of them go to Strathmore, some of them also go to the USIU. Based on the research, it's now public knowledge that most people would always expect. So as far as that one is concerned, I've told you how we normally equate those grades from the KCSE to the A levels based on the Kenyan universities that we normally do. Now, somebody may ask, what do you do if you have done your I.G.C.S.E, okay, and you don't want to do the A levels, year 12 and 13? This is what normally happens. If you've done your I.G.C.S.E and you want to go directly to the university, this is what normally happens. You are supposed to do what we call a pre-university, okay? Or you do a diploma before you proceed and go and do what? And do your degree. So most of them you may find it's not always compulsory that you must do your A levels after the I.G.C.S.E. You can still go to the university, then you do what is called a pre-university course or a diploma. Once you qualify is when you go for the degree courses that you want to select. So these are very important stuff that you must always know. Then the maximum grade in the A level is an A. Then the lowest is an E. But you know, when we talk about the I.G.C.S.E, it runs all the way to you. We have the grade A, we have grade B, we have grade C, grade D, we have grade E, grade A, B, C, D, E, we have grade F, grade G, and grade U. U means ungraded. So these are the possible grading systems that you can get when you do your I.G.C.S.E. So us in the BOAZ International School, we are based here in Lavington. So mostly we transition students who have done their KCSE and they want to join and do what? Do the A levels. And we tuition them, we have the evening classes, we register them for the private exams. Then they do all the way to the A levels. And the advantage that we normally offer in the market is that we are one-to-one. We don't do a group setup or like a class mode. We normally handle students on one-to-one. And most of our students that have gone through our institution and our program, they always succeed and go to most of the universities abroad. And they do very lucrative courses. So if you have done your KCSE and you want to join the Cambridge, you can give us a call. Our center is in Lavington along Olengorweni Road. So we will guide you how to go about it, transition you from the KCSE and do the A levels. And even those students that have done the I.G.C.S.E and they did not do well or get good grades, we normally organize a very good program through mentorship, guiding them on how they are supposed to be studying, giving them personalized class, which we normally do. We do both online and physical if you come to our center. And our prices are very much flexible. We can always arrange in a way that we help these students in a way that they can achieve their careers and their interest at the university, even if they did not do previously in the I.G.C.S.E. So we have those personalized programs. We mentor you. We even offer evening classes, even adults that still want to go to school and further their studies. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. You can like, subscribe, and share to your friends. Thank you.